When were you founded?
So the company was registered in June of 2020, but we went online only since Feb of this year, Feb 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many employees do you have there?
We have around 80 employees now.
80 employees.
Yeah.
Okay. And how would you get the idea to start this venture?
Brief, I mean, I've been in the IT segment for a very long time, right? So over 20 years, I was in the IT industry, most of which I spent in Dell and Ruckus Wireless. My last assignment was with Ruckus Wireless, which was nearly 11 years in the company, right? I set up the Ruckus business in the SARC region. We were a high-end Wi-Fi solution, large enterprise and telecom Wi-Fi solution provider. Right? Then during that time, a friend of mine had come to me and said, "Hey, why don't we start the business in, meat selling e-commerce?" And I had done a research from around 2017 when he approached me. We had done a lot of research then and where the market is heading. There were very few players online, right? Even people were not ready to buy meat online. People were even hesitant to buy vegetables online, right? But there were a couple of companies which came and changed the whole system, right? Um, and and actually provided quality meat to your doorstep. So people had slowly started moving online, trusting that you can get quality meat online. So a lot of research had gone into that, and in 2019, when I came out of Ruckus Wireless, it was time for me to start a venture, and that's when we decided, let's put this plan to action and start the D2C e-commerce meat company. That's how the Meamo came into existence in 2020 June. But we wanted to make some fundamental difference. The consumer meat industry is estimated at $90 billion. Okay, in this country, it's a huge market, and 71% of India is non-vegetarian.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so contrary to the belief that India is a vegetarian country, 71% are non-vegetarian, and it's only increasing by the day due to multiple reasons. Even in the metros, with people being more conscious, they want more protein, they want to keep more fit, and they resort to eating chicken or consuming more eggs and kind of stuff. So the non-vegetarianism is only increasing in the country, and while that is happening, the adoption of tech or moving online is actually growing at a much faster growth. And as dangerous as COVID has been, thankfully it imbibed some good practices into the population, where they became more conscious about hygiene, about cleanliness, and all this stuff, social distancing, and nobody wants to walk into a butcher store anymore, stand in that wet place, and watch what is happening there. So many people have just said, "Hey, if I can get quality meat at the convenience of my doorstep, why not?" Right? So it was the right time for us to enter into this market. There was a huge market. As long as you have an excellent team that can execute to the scalability that you're planning,
Yes.
you're in the game.
Yeah. Okay. And what's your future plans about it?
Okay, so the plan is, see, like I said, I've been in this industry for a very long time, right? So I've in the IT industry for a very long time. It's not like a young guy who's come in and said, "Oh, I'm going to build the, 1,000 crore company." It's not about that. It's about building a quality organization, an organization which is focused on customer experience an organization which is probably ranked the number one choice as an employer, right? Now, it's both employee satisfaction and customer satisfaction. When you achieve something like this, your revenues fall in place, you will be large enough, you will be delivering quality stuff, because if your employees love working for you, that means your organization is doing everything right, right? And if you can ensure, okay, ensure customer experience, your revenues are growing. So eventually you will be a large organization, but it's about building an organization which employs or provides employment to thousands of people across the country. Now that's what I want Meamo to be, right? A quality organization which focuses on consumer, employee, and ensure giving employment to thousands of them at a time.
And what do you think? How fast are you growing?
So right now for a startup, now see what happened was, like I said, we could come into the meat market and say, me too, right? I also sell quality meat, and there is such a large market, you'll end up making, a few hundred crore business. But the idea was the meat market is monopolized today, right? There is one kind of process that is monopolized the meat market. And there is a large segment of population which needs one kind of meat, but is not getting it, which is deprived of it for whatever reasons. So when we came in, we could say, yeah, we also give quality meat. We are halal certified, and things are smooth. But then we realized that this large segment, which is there, which needs an alternative, which needs a choice. In today's world, you cannot have a monopoly, right? You're an engineering student and you know that, monopolies are all gone.
Yeah.
Now, we said there is a large segment which wants meat to be processed in the Jhatka process, right? Now, there is a halal and there is a Jhatka, right? Now, in some, in the West, sometimes they call it single slice, which is a more humane way of rendering the animal or the bird lifeless, which is quicker. They don't have to put them through excess pain, and which is a more humane way of doing it. So we said, there is nobody else in the country who has focused on this segment.
Okay.
So let's make a fundamental difference and be the only exclusive Jhatka meat vendor in the country, right? So we made a fundamental difference and we said, okay, everybody else is halal meat. We will sell Jhatka meat. Now, whether it's the Sikhs, the Punjabis, the Bengalis, they all are aware of Jhatka, but they're not able to get it. They prefer Jhatka, they're not able to get it. And today's young generation, are you a non-vegetarian?
No, I'm a pure vegetarian.
You are a pure vegetarian. Yeah. Now, you ask your age group non-vegetarians, yeah. They're more sensitive. They're non-vegetarian. They know that the animal or the bird is farmed and is going to die to be your food. But in the process, if it is quick and less cruel, why not choose that process, right? So they're not going to turn vegetarian, but they're going to say, okay, we will choose the one that is quicker for the animal or the bird. Now, for example, we have pet lovers, right? For a pet lover, the pet is equal to his own children, right? They don't distinguish. They love their pet as much as they love their child, right? He's a non-vegetarian. He gives his pet non-veg food, right? So when you go to him and say, hey, you know what, there was another goat or there was another animal or bird that was sacrificed for this, he would say, I would want it to be quick. That shouldn't go through much pain, right? But these were not followed. And there is rituals were given much more importance, while there are processes which are more humane. So we said, let's launch a venture which focuses on only Jhatka meat, right? Then after that, it was about being a more humane venture. The third one was, let's bring back the culture. Yes. Right? There are so many things that, so Indian civilization is the oldest and the most scientific civilization, right? Now, we have been following so many things for centuries, which were scientific and proven, but it was part of our culture. Now, for example, I as a meat eater, the moment I go buy meat from a butcher, the moment we come home, we wash it with turmeric and salt. We rinse it up nicely because of all the antibacterial aspects of it and all that, and then you use it for cooking. But how many kids of your generation know even about this, right? You who probably finish your engineering, you move to a city like Bangalore, you're a young couple, you all don't have time for anything. You both are working. You just come, get that stuff, rinse it little, and then start cooking. We said, why don't we launch turmeric washed meat? Bring back your culture. We'll help you, right? Whatever you don't have time for, we will introduce it. We will do it because at the plant we are using RO water. We are going through all the FSSI norms and everything. As a process, we'll also introduce turmeric wash meat. The idea was to build a community of people who love food, right? Who can come and contribute. Pardon?
Quality food, no?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where we said, we will position Meamo as an organization which is fundamentally different. Yes, we have a Jhatka process. We believe in the more human way of processing the livestock, and we are bringing back the culture, right? So that's how we formed it. We even, we created a neutral handle, subscribed for a survey on Twitter, and the results were surprising. Majority of them wanted Jhatka meat.
Yeah.
Right? They said we want Jhatka meat. 47% said we want Jhatka meat. 27% said we want halal. 26% said we don't mind as long as the quality is good. So clearly there was a large market, 47 plus this 26% of people who are open to quality meat, at the same time the more humane way of doing things, right? So that's how we started, and we set up our own factory in the outskirts of Bangalore, and so that we have complete control, right? A true farm to fork company where we pick the birds or the livestock from the farms, we get it to our own production center where the whole process is done, packaged, and it's brought to our distribution centers in Bangalore. From our distribution center, it's our own delivery boys who will pick up the package and come and give it to your doorstep, right? So at any given point of time, it's a Meamo employee handling your order. So we call ourselves as the only true farm to fork company, unlike anybody else who send the livestock to another party. There it is clean, processed, it comes to their production centers. From there it comes to their distribution centers. Then most of them have third party guys delivering the product to your doorstep. For us, it's controlled by us consistently. So we know the quality and the level of customer experience is completely controlled by us. And if there is any failure, it's us to blame, right? We can't throw the blame on someone else, right? We take the complete accountability of what is being delivered to your house.
Yes, yes, yes. And next, who is on your leadership team?
Right. So right now on the leadership team, we have Rajiv, who heads our operations and logistics. He's been working in the meat industry for a long time. IIT Kanpur, graduate. Then my tech is Yashas, who is IIM Bangalore, IIM Calcutta. He's done his general management. He's done his analytics from there. Has been in developing such a backbone for any e-commerce sites. So he's part of it. And then there is me, as I explained. This forms the core team. And then we have the next level of core teams where industry leaders form, who are handling our marketing and our finance, right? As a startup, the clear thing that I had to build was, you're a meat e-commerce meat company, and there is a market. The key differentiator that you bring onto the table is the team. The core team that is highly qualified and will be able to scale this business from 0 to how many ever 1,000 crores that is. It's the core team that matters, right? So that's we have set out to build an extremely highly qualified team right now.
Yes. And what's the uniqueness about your this team, leadership team? And
I just said that, they're from the same industry. Now, if you look at any startup in the meat industry, other than the top two, who have already raised few $100 million, right? If you look at any startup or a mid-sized startup, the key difference is, they're either family-run businesses or they're, one-man armies kind of guys, versus a Meamo, which has, technical guys and operations guys, everybody who comes from this industry and come from, the premier institutions, and have been in this and understand it from ground level and are helping me build this, right? So that's the key difference that we bring onto the table. Sourcing, ensuring the quality of meat, all that, yes, people can do it,
yes, yes,
right? You can go get the best farm, go buy from the best farm, you can do all that stuff. But it's about growth. When you're out to build an organization that the employees love you, the customers love you, the core team becomes extremely important, right? So that's what we have built right now, and we will continue to keep adding more and more such people into the team.
your company funded?
Yes. So we did a seed round initially and raised around $500,000 to set up all the stuff. And recently we also did a bridge round to raise another, $150,000 just to take care of the season and all that. Now we are out to raise our one more round of funding. So we have raised up to $1 million right now, close to $1 million. And now we have set up to raise another one.
Okay. 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 Thank you very much.
Thank you.